Hi everyone, Mr. Wig here. Today I would like to discuss with you, if you are in UK or even abroad, whatever part of the world, what is the cost of living here in UK. If you're interested, stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm back once again. And there you go, like I said in my intro, I would like to share with you what is the cost of living in UK, because so many people they do around the other countries around the world. So why I can't share with you? I've been here 27 years ago, I came on holidays and ending staying. UK is not as expensive as you think, always. Depends how much money you can afford, if you need to work, if you are a student, if you're going to live in London, if you're going to live in Scotland, Manchester, Birmingham, even the Cotswolds where I live. Whatever part depends how much you can afford to spend, or if you're going to work, or if you're going to be a student. So I'm just going to give you roughly, I did some research for myself. As you can see here on this board, I just left some roughly the prices, what you would pay. For example, as a house in London, this just roughly in London with a one bedroom, not two, and depends what part of the London. If you are in the centre, is even more expensive. But one bedroom house in London, it would cost you, for example, between £1,649 and £3. That is the truth. Obvious, if you stay outside in the suburbians, almost outside, actually you can still pay 1,100, what is 500 plus cheaper. The meals vary, is it? The meals actually you can eat, I would say, from £5 and £10 takeaways. And obvious, once again, can I just make a reference? Depends how much money you can have or you can spend. Obvious, someone who can work, for example, even in a hotel. I'm just giving you an example. Housekeeper, for example, he can work there and live there, and some of the meals actually they are included on their wages, sometimes not, but sometimes they do special prices for them, or even or they make a deal with the people they work there. So that is a good way to save money. Always I would advise, if you want to rent in London, if you don't mind to live with people, as I have lived before, that you will get much cheaper and you can save more money. I'm not taking into account what you're going to drink, and if you smoke, and if you are a party person. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know what you want. I don't drink and I don't smoke, so I could save if I'm prepared to live with someone in a shared house. Or I did some research. You can save some good money if you. There's a good site called thespareroom.co.uk where you can find rooms from actually almost £400, just almost outside London as inside London, as I found actually one room per week. This is a shocker, £1,250 per week. So that is a lot. So it depends of your what you can spend and what you can't. But anyway, I did the research as well on food. Obvious, once again, you got Tesco's, is well known here, Asda, Sainsbury's, Morrison's. It's considered the cheapest in the country, but I don't agree with that. If you are in UK, you know that Lidl and Aldi supermarkets, actually they've been winning 4 or 5 years in a row the best supermarket, so the best, good value for money. You lucky, even in London you got them. So if you go to Lidl or Aldi, it's the best value for money, and you can have more or less the same what you like to buy at Tesco's or Sainsbury's and all the others. But you know, at the end of the day, it's always your choices, and I don't mind to go to Lidl and Aldi I'm very lucky. I got actually the co-op is very close. I found them a little more expensive. The co-op, I got Asda, so I can have a good choice, and 12 minutes from here I can go to Lidl or even Aldi, where I found a really good value for money, and I would recommend it, and that's why they've been awarded the best supermarket. Anyway, I did here some comparisons. I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can. For example, in London, food per month, I didn't include alcohol or cigarettes or things that I think, for me personally, you can do your own research, obviously. I'm just trying to give you roughly what I did. So for example, in London, I would spend just £265 if it was me. Obviously some people, they like alcohol, etc. I don't. So in London, I would spend 265. If I was in Edinburgh, in Scotland, if you're not from UK, this is in Scotland, in the north of UK, United Kingdom or England, whatever you want to say, it's £255 per month. So this means month, and that's why I got like that. So don't make confusion. That's what it means, month. I didn't want to write month all the way on the others. For example, in Belfast, it's £245. So another is the main city oh my love, I forgot another name. I just went blank. I'm sorry, in Ireland. So I do apologise. Ireland, the main city is Belfast. As you can see, it's just £10 different from London. In Manchester, it goes slightly cheaper, £240 a month. In food, in Cardiff, is £235 per month. In Glasgow, you got £225 per month, not bad as you're going up north. But in Liverpool, actually, was the biggest surprise for me. £205. I did my own research. Like I said, if you're not happy, I'm not saying this is a definitely. Depends, we all have different lifestyles and we choose for us whatever we want to eat. I'm saying this is for me, but this gives you a little idea. If you are in UK, you can check by yourself, but if you're not, if you want to come, I'm just give you a roughly an estimate. How much would you spend? So this is what I would spend. What it caught me by surprise actually was Liverpool. I didn't realize how cheap it was. As you can see, the difference from London to Liverpool is quite high, isn't it? 30% actually higher. But that it doesn't mean actually it's quite expensive. What I was surprised, but that is the amount I would spend every month. Obvious, for example, in the renting in London is very expensive. As you come more outside the centre of London, it gets slightly cheaper and cheaper. If you are even just close to them, 25 is even better. So if you prepare to travel, actually pay less. I would be prepared actually to live and share the house with someone, or even get a room from the spare room. As you can find, there's a lot of rooms out there, even small flats, etc., etc. So if you think you can afford, yes, live on your own, and you will pay more because you can afford. If you can't, if you think it would be out of your range in a way, don't be scared or afraid to share and live with someone. Not only will it be cheaper for you, and actually you'll have some company and you make some friends. So in a way it's good. Be careful when you do your own shopping, because sometimes they will drink your milk, they will use your sugar without asking, as it happened. But I didn't mind. But now and again I did run out of milk, and you know what? All the others, they said, I never touch it. Must be a ghost drinking my milk. Nevertheless, I was joking. So hope whatever you are, I'll give you some, even if you don't come here, if you're interested just how much United Kingdom or England we do spend, or how much we do spend. Obviously, I did roughly the cost of living in an apartment in London. Obviously, if you go to Midlands, as where I live, is much cheaper. That is as much as less than half of the 1,000. I'm just saying London because normally people, they go to live there, or students, but obviously there's universities from up north in Scotland to Edinburgh, Glasgow, etc., other cities there, to Cornwall. But that is depends on your choice. You can choose any you need to go. But that is good to know that, as you will know, in London it's always more expensive. Even there's ways to save money there. But at the end of the day, obviously, it's going to be always your choice. Another chart that I found out, for example, actually you can find restaurants even in London where you can have a meal actually for £10, as I found. Fast foods, they go from £5 to 7 or to almost £8. A litre of milk, and some places now they are charging £1.75 is cheaper at Aldi and Lidl. So bear that in mind. £1.75 because now some supermarkets, they want to support the farmers. I think it's great. So I don't mind to pay actually the 25p more because I can afford it. But you can still buy cheaper, so don't worry about that. A pair of jeans can go from 51 to 200 plus pounds, I'm talking about here. So £51 is a normal jeans. I'm talking about in a shop. I'm not talking about you going on internet. eBay, for example, or even Amazon, other sites. Obviously, you'll buy cheaper, you don't see it. I found a little tricky. I never brought, very rare, unless it's a jacket, for example. I know my size, so a jacket I can cope if it's a little tight. You can always send them back, remember. But I always think that clothes, I want to buy them, I want to be on that shop, I want to try them, see if they look good, if they are too tight, if I can swap and etc. Clothes I'm very funny, but anyway, if you want to know, it starts from 51 in some parts, and some parts they are so expensive, like Arrows, for example. I wouldn't recommend it unless you got the money. Ka-ching! I don't. So of a litre of a beer is the minimum is £3. It can go to 4 or 5. 1 litre of bottle of water can cost £1. In London, outside actually is cheaper, believe it or not. So in London I found out. As you can see in UK actually it's quite similar to buy more or less the same things like even in Australia or even in America. But it depends is what you can afford and what you want. So obviously if I could afford anything, I wouldn't even care. I would just go and buy it. I wouldn't choose the cheapest supermarket. Even I can dress something expensive as I can dress something cheap, I don't mind. Or even if I would go to a car boot or even a charity shop, we have lots of here in UK because this is a materialistic country. They got so many, we buy so much that we have to sell or to give. So I don't mind to buy something really cheap or something expensive, depends on my taste. I'm not going to look for a particular price or something cost of this or that. I look, and very rare I buy clothes, I think, but if I like it and I think it's nice or it's good quality, that's why the charity shops or even the car boots in United Kingdom, we do them more in the summer when the weather is good, and you really buy good stuff for good value for money. So I would recommend. So I hope you enjoy this. I just want to share with all of you, if you are in UK or outside UK, just a general research I did, the cost of living in UK. And obvious, London is the top, is most expensive. The cheapest I found was 1,647 for a 1 bedroom, and depends wherever you are. If you are really in the centre, if you go close to the Buckingham Palace, you pay a lot of money. As I found actually 1 bedroom, more than £3,000. And actually there's more expensive, don't take me wrong. So that I think would be the normal. If you got a good job, you could live. Depends if you want to live on your own. Depends if you want to share it with someone. I wouldn't mind, but at the end of the day it's your choice. So this is just a general information I try to gather. Always think that the price I give is more for London. When you come out, for example in Midlands where I live, is less. It can be less 70% or 60%, what is a huge saving. As you will go up to north, is even cheaper. Here's a Newcastle, etc., Blackpool as well. So whatever you are, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry to just talk about that, but this is just to help or to share my research that I did. Hope you enjoyed. Can I want to say thank you to all of you once again. Thanks for following me. Thanks for watching my videos. Let's be kind, nice, show love, compassion, and wish me luck on my new videos. Once again, Mr. Wig is back. Unfortunately, I could use the Mr. Producer, but people they couldn't find, or it was difficult for YouTube to put my username available to everyone. I wish you all the best. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace!